Welcome to the finale of the Legend of Zelda playthrough! Now, if you didn't have the book, there will be an old man that says, "How come you don't have the book? Go get the book, you dumbass." Oh, sorry about that. As I was trying to say about the, whole Pokemon Snap issue, I've always wanted to play Pokemon Snap, but for some odd reason, it doesn't like emulators. I don't know why it doesn't. It doesn't like emulators, but it doesn't. I tried it on the PSP emulator. It just doesn't really work out, of course. I pretty much excused that one because the PSP emulator, the Darius X64, yeah, it's not the best Darius 64 emulator in the world. It plays some games fantastically, but most of the time you're just going to have your sound off, and even then the frame rate is not perfect, or the fact that that there are some graphical glitches here and there. There was at one point when I was playing Super Mario 64 on that emulator, and for the level, what was that called again? Daya Docks. It was the one after you. It was the one that blocks the second fight with Bowser in the basement, but you will have to go through that level's first mission, and then you will be able to fight Bowser again for the second out of 3 times. But what happened was that in the Daya Docks area, there was a section where you were supposed to be pole jumping for red coins. As a matter of fact, I believe that is the name of the mission. And for some reason, the poles did not load. I mean, all the poles. All the poles did not load. They did not load for whatever reason. Completely. The coding just did not work. They were completely missing. No graphics, no... They weren't invisible, they were just missing. They were just missing entirely. I was like, what the fuck? But back to the issue with Pokemon Snap. So there was that. Frame rate was okay. I played with no sound. But what happened was that I practically gave up on it at that point because the emulator just, it's real picky with what games you throw at. But what happens is that my next attempt was on the Wii emulator, the Wii 64 emulator. That was my next attempt. And the game played quite well on that one. Except for the final portion of a level where, for some reason, the pictures weren't taken whatsoever, despite me taking lots and lots of pictures. Not only that, but for some reason, the camera won't move. And I believe there is some sort of fix for that, but I cannot remember what that fix was. Or you know what? You know what the case would have been? Is that, in that case... Now wait a second, I remember specifically that I was able to take pictures, just not being able to move the camera. And yet, that still considered me not being able to take the pictures. So that was that one point right there. Merry Christmas, by the way, old man. It did the same thing for the PSP emulator. Now I only have one last attempt with it, which is on the BizHawk emulator. That's the same exact emulator that I did my Twist Metal 2 playthrough on because my original disc gave up on life. So why I'm after in this dungeon, back to the game at hand, why I'm after in this dungeon is that there are two different items. One is absolutely necessary. You can only get in this dungeon specifically. The other one was, well, actually, let me explain the necessary item. The necessary item you need to get in this dungeon is the silver arrows. You cannot defeat Ganon without the silver arrows. Just absolutely cannot. You go in there, you basically soft lock the game. And you have to go through the entire dungeon again. Assuming that you're not, like me, playing on an emulator using save states. Now, I use save states, it's just that it's only at the end of sessions. Here they are! This is where the silver arrows are supposed to be at. That is absolutely mandatory for beating the game. Do not enter the room where Ganon is at without the silver arrows. You will not be able to beat the game. I cannot stress that enough. Now, the other option for going through this dungeon, and it's located in like the top right-hand corner of the entire map, is the red ring, which, just like the blue ring, it bumps up your defenses. It also gives you like this bright red outfit. Why red? Well, it's in the form of the color of the red ring. Well, if that's the case, your outfit should be blue, not white with the blue ring. Another thing to point out about this dungeon is that it loves like-likes. If you have the magical shield, this dungeon is a pain in the ass because of the like-likes. The instant you get captured by a like-like, there goes 90 rupees. And unless you are following a straight-on map, you really do not want to exit this dungeon and then go to back to the shop where you got the cheaper version of the magical shield, and get another magical shield that way. Plus, on top of that, you need to save up your rupees for the silver arrows. So unless you're like me and you got 90 rupees to spend, then by all means. All I'm really saying is that if you really want the magical shield that badly going through this dungeon, in particular, go right ahead, just do it in a safe way. The old man, by the way, is pointing out how to find Zelda. Merry Christmas. Why do you keep on saying Merry Christmas? I don't know, I guess it's because of the time of year. It is December. Actually, it's getting pretty damn close towards Christmas at this point. Yeah, by the way, welcome our special surprise guest, Future Sarah. Howdy! He's the one that usually does the editing, the final product, as you will call it, of these videos that you are watching right now. All that is his work. Yep. So, let's see here. Have we ever figured out, who was the ghost in, Luigi's Mansion, by the way? Yeah, that was past Sarah. Oh, so he was the one that, well, that kinda makes sense, though. He is quite an angry soul. You shut the fuck up. Yep, see, there he is again. Oh, I guess you are right, that is past Sarah. We are just a lovely trio, aren't we? Okay, so we got these guys again. And once again, if you do not have the magical sword, these guys split off into two bats. Two red bats. Nothing too special about the bats, though, besides being a nuisance. Magical sword takes care of that easily. Although, how does that make any sense? Oh, no, it's magic. You don't have to explain it. Ugh. Oh, look at that, another secret spot. If I can recall correctly, past Sarah accidentally did the entire dungeon. What are you talking about? He did the entire dungeon. What are you talking about? As in, he filled in the entire map. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes. Why did he do that? To prove that he is the best of the best at this game? No, I think according to him, according to past Sarah, he did it by sheer and complete accident. Like, by the time he got to the final area of the game, he looked at the pause screen, and I believe that all this is recorded. I believe all this was in fact recorded. And, like, no part of it was cut. All of it was perfectly recorded. And by the time he reached the portion where you were supposed to fight Ganon, the room before you fight Ganon, he took a look at the map screen, and then he just realized he filled in the entire map completely. And he was like, oh shit. I did not mean to do that. So, what you are seeing right now is essentially enough past Sarah's attempt at level 9. His first and possibly only attempt at doing the entire map without having to look at it in a, what am I trying to think of here? Without having to look at a external map of some sorts that leads him the way towards the Red Ring, the Silver Arrows, the final boss, and all of that. Those enemies that you were seeing in, those enemies with the ring of individual other enemies that you have been seeing, that go around in a circle? Yeah, one of those. What, there are multiple areas where you face off against that thing. But the area that you are looking at that leads to the left eye, you do have to face off against one of those before facing off against Ganon. So, how's that final dungeon music, by the way, future Sarah? It's okay. Really repetitive. How in the world did past Sarah do this? I do not know, future Sarah. It seems overly redundant. I mean, what the hell was he trying to prove? Well, again, he said it was by sheer and complete accident. I'm pretty sure that we're almost done. Look at the time bar! We are only like about halfway there. True. Holy cow. I'll tell you one thing, though. Our Kingdom Hearts playthrough is going to be quite a bit. Yeah, we are going off on, like, some kind of, like, yeah, we are going off on, like, a bunch of random different tangents on this. You know... Well, here's the thing with Skyward Sword. I tried watching a playthrough of... What was it? It was Skyward Sword or Twilight... No, it was Twilight Princess. That's what it was. I only saw clips of Skyward Sword. And in all honesty, it's not all that spectacular compared to Twilight Princess. Well, by means of graphics anyways. Gameplay-wise, I have no idea. Okay, I want a definitive answer on Twilight Princess, though. Is it released on the GameCube, or is it only on the Wii? So I'm going to have to ask the viewers to correct me. To correct me on this, because I know for a fact that Twilight Princess is on the Nintendo Wii. But I could have sworn that there was a GameCube version. So I want the viewers to correct me in the comments that, is it true that Twilight Princess was released on the Nintendo GameCube and Wii? And if so, is there any form of differences between the two, besides the obvious, you know, having to use a GameCube controller as opposed to a Wii remote and nunchuck? Or Wii remote entirely? Besides that, you know, what's the massive difference? Are there, like, exclusive dungeons in the Wii version that you cannot get in the GameCube version? Is the GameCube version the beta version of Twilight Princess? What's the deal? Because I feel like that Twilight Princess is for the Wii only. It went through kind of like a developer snafu, like Super Paper Mario, where it was being developed for the Nintendo GameCube initially. And then after a few considerations, they just moved it over towards the Wii, because why not? I just want a definitive answer. Is it both on the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii, or is it just for the Wii? But if it's on the Nintendo GameCube, is there any differences? Like, is there any extra dungeons? Is there like a bonus scene that you get after completing a certain side quest that you get in the Wii version as opposed to the GameCube version? Is there anything of the sorts like that? Yeah, this enemy. This enemy you have to fight before you fight Ganon, so be prepared for that one. Because I am legit curious. I am legit curious about both versions. And just for interactive sakes. Oh, finally, the map! Now we know what the dungeon is shaped like, which is in the shape of a skull. Fairly interesting skull at that. Do you want to tell the audience? I know for a fact you told the audience in the Twist Metal Head-On playthrough, but do you want to tell the audience here that, about the whole, like, comments thing and so on and so forth? No. I think they'll get it if they actually do watch the, what the point was. I do love that, though. That was a real stupid thing that Pasilla did by pure accident. He had to do it that way. Oh, so here's the red ring, by the way. Okay, so here's the red ring, which boosts our defense even more. Okay. That's all I'm really asking for, you know. It's just a legitimate question, and the only way that the audience can respond to that is through the comments section. All I'm really asking for is just interactivity. That's all I'm really asking for. You just contradicted yourself. You do know that, right? What are you talking about? You said beforehand that you don't want to talk about the fact that you don't. What am I trying to think here? You said beforehand that you did not want to explain the fact that you don't want to explain about the whole comment section thing, and people might get you doing the wrong idea. But what you just did is that you just explained it anyways. And now you are silent because you just realized that. Okay, now give me a second to give you a straight-up answer instead of assuming what's going on here. Okay? All I'm really doing is I'm just trying to play the game here. All I'm really saying is that you just contradicted yourself. That's all you really did. As a matter of fact, Merry Christmas. What you just did was a pretty hypocritical way of doing things. You just said that you won't do such a thing, and yet you still did such a thing immediately after. I'm not entirely sure if that's hypocritical or not, but it sounds hypocritical. Relax, okay? We're almost done. We are literally almost done. We just need to find our way towards Ganon. We have the silver arrows, we have the red ring. We're now at one of the bottom portions of the dungeon. I don't know. How does the, I wonder. Is the GBA version of A Link to the Past good? Is it like a good port, or is it a bad port? Well, that's right where Emu Paradise really kicks in. So I believe we are heading towards the final area of the game now. I think. It's really hard to tell now what your position is because you're red and the compass shows a red spot where Zelda is. Yeah, I think we went down the wrong way. That's what happened. Look at that, the map is almost filled out. Yeah, I see what you mean by how Passera accidentally, It looks like he's not doing it on purpose, though. He's not. He's not. All three of us know for a fact we were able to play through this game without having to use an external map. That's the only form of bragging rights I have with this game. In all honesty, though. That's the only bragging rights this playthrough will ever prove. Is that I played through this game without having to use an external map. And if this part does not prove that, then I don't know what does. Because I usually play this game without using an external map. That's how I usually play this game. This is kind of like a, to be fair, the playthroughs that I have planned along with this one, this is kind of like a put-down kind of time of year. Because... okay, that was a weird sound effect. Hiccup. Because what happens is that... the thing is that the... oh, this is real dickish, actually. You have to activate one of the blue traps in order to get through that stairwell. I believe we're coming up towards a army of blue dark nuts. No, Wesrobes. Never mind. But we are coming up towards the end here. At long last. I believe through this stairwell will lead us towards where we need to go. So we head down this stairwell, and we go up another stairwell. Should lead me to this area, which is right before Ganon. Yeah, if this part isn't proof enough, yeah, see, look at that! So after shining the Triforce, Ganon appears. I believe all you can do for a good while is that Ganon will disappear, but after you stab him with your sword, he reappears. If he appears brownish red like that, use your silver arrows. He will drop the Triforce of Power. Door opens. There are 4 fires here. And... done! Legend of Zelda is done. Thanks, Link. You're the hero of Hyrule. Finally, peace returns to Hyrule. This ends the story. Now we get the credits. Executive Producer Hamaguchi. Producer Miyamoto. Director Miyamoto 1010. Designer 1010. Programmer something Yamadachu. I totally butchered that name, sorry. Another quest will start from here. Press the start button. Will we ever do the second quest? I have no idea. Maybe sometime in the future. But for right now, that ends the Legend of Zelda playthrough. So I hope you enjoy the playthrough, and have a fantastic night. Thank you, and good night.